Hello, everybody. Oh no. Oh no. Don't judge my desktop. It's a mess. Hi, everyone. I've lost
You gonna
it.
close the chat or no?
They did it. I was
There you
trying to
go.
figure out how Zoom worked. We are off to a great start. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Inside of Blaseball, Haunted Edition. Ooh. They told me that I couldn't start by singing Toccata and Fugue in D minor, and they also told me that I couldn't start with a vampire voice, so that's what
Don't
you're gonna
don't.
get.
Who's this they?
They,
Okay,
you know what you did.
It was you
it was
specifically.
No,
me specifically.
yeah, Elena's silencing me.
Yeah, I
So,
am. I am.
welcome everyone. This is our developer Q&A where we answer your questions about Blaseball. We are going to answer a bunch of Halloween sort of questions, some spooky questions, but first, if you haven't heard, we kind of did a big announcement today, so we should probably talk about it a little bit. But first, introductions. I will start. We'll do our names, what we do at the game band, and what you are dressed up as today. I'm Bria. Hello. I'm the community director for Blaseball. So you've probably seen me on the Discord as Slugger Croms, and I'm dressed up as Shigo from Kim Possible. Take it away, Steven.
I'm Steven. Hi, everybody. Happy Halloween. I am a designer, narrative designer on Blaseball.com, and I've been shelled.
It happens.
Who's next? I'll
You said
go.
I don't know
it was you.
who's in
I guess it's
order.
me. I'm Elena. I'm a UI, front end UX designer, programmer, and I'm Amanda from Saw. I got the. That's so much stuff. I got the thing.
It's got a keychain that is this the character from Saw. It's very cute.
Yeah. She has like a charm, but I don't have that, so I put a keychain of her on my belt.
Gooby.
Hi everybody, I'm Gooby. This is my first Inside of Blaseball, but I've been here for a long time. I'm a designer on Blaseball, so I'm sorry and you're welcome.
All right.
And you're dressed as.
Oh, I'm an imp, which is an accurate representation of
Correct.
what we're trying to do here.
All right.
Can Felix go next?
Yeah, Felix can go next, then Joel, then Jesse.
Hi, I'm Felix. I'm the studio director at the game band. I'm currently dressed as a banana.
Great. Joel. Great. Jesse, take us away. Close us off.
Hey, I'm Jesse. I'm the director of engineering at Blaseball. So I break stuff. And I'm going as a low effort Rick.
The only Rick there is. Perfect. All right. Thank you for the F's in the chat for Joel. He's fine. He's just muted. Let's talk about short circuits, huh? So we did a whole press thing, did a whole announcements where we have announced that Blaseball in some form is coming back over the siesta while we are developing the full era that will follow expansion, which is hopefully going to come out early next year. In the meantime, we're going to have a series of mini Blaseball experiences in Pocket Universes, whole new rosters, same teams we know and love, kind of, but not the same rosters, players, or versions of the teams that we experienced in the expansion era. And you can read all about it on Twitter, on a bunch of game sites like Game Informer or the Discord, or DM me and I'll tell you all about it. But I didn't write a script for this part, so I'm freestyling, and it's been a very long day. But we are super excited about it. It's going to be a low stakes sort of Blaseball experience where if anyone got a little too overwhelmed at expansion or has found themselves falling off of Blaseball, it's going to be a great entry point for new fans or a great way to return to the fundamentals of Blaseball, simpler times, humbler times, where all we had to worry about was maybe incinerations anything else the design and writers team decides to cook up and surprise all of us with. On that note, I am going to hand it to Felix to tell us a bit more about why we're doing this, what's happening behind it, and once we talk a bit more about that, we'll answer your spooky questions.
Yeah, thank you. We are very happy to be coming back. I know saw everybody being excited today, so that's really, really encouraging. And I just want to say thank you for all of your support and excitement in general. It's been awesome. So Blaseball. Well, if you've been with us for a little while, if you're new here, ignore this part for a second. But if you've been with us for a while, you probably know that the expansion era got big. It got big and unwieldy. And for us as a team and designers, it was an experiment in adding and never taking away. We kept adding and adding and adding. And while that was absolutely the experiment, it also was very relieving, or really revealing in other ways. And part of that was just the idea that growing forever without cutting away is probably not feasible long term. All right. So with that in mind, we do want to bring it back to basics, as Bria just said. We want to return to the fundamentals, putting the fun in fundamental. Here at Blaseball, we are looking to strip it down, to make sure that it's comprehensive, that it's something you can do if you've never done it. So if you're new here, start listening now. Blaseball's back, and it's simpler than ever. Love to see it. And really, honestly, this is a different type of experiment, right? Basically, all of you are going to be on a little journey with us 2 weeks at a time, where we're going to test a major system change or a major system, new type of system over the next few months. And so we don't have a release schedule yet. You know, we have something in mind internally, but right now, just focus on the first one starting November 1st and running 2 weeks. And then as we know more about the results from that one, we'll let you know when the next one's coming. And like we said, the goal is still next year for the big ol' dreaded 1.0, if we can call it that. Blaseball releasing itself from beta and moving into something else. But before then, we just want to make sure that we're doing it right. So this is that, right? Help us do it right by clicking around. And listen, this is the biggest thing. If you don't know what you're doing on the website, great. We love to see it. We love to see you click. We're going to be looking at what people are clicking on. We're going to be determining where the flows are, where it makes sense, where's hard to get to, where's easy to get to, what y'all are doing. There'll be surveys going out over the next few months. So if you do participate at all, please fill out the survey, because again, everything in these short circuits it's going to feed into us making an even better 1.0 at some point in the future that I'm not currently committing to whatsoever. That's my take. Does anybody else have anything to add onto that? This banana feels like it did good.
That sounded pretty appealing, Felix.
Hey!
Oh, I know Joel has something prepared, so
Yeah, we'll give the floor over to Joel after. He's gonna have a hard time following that pun, but I believe in him. Great, good stuff.
Yeah, and just following up on that too, like the Discord is still definitely going to be a big part. You know, the community in general is a big part of what we're looking to focus on here. So even though we're going to be experimenting with different ways of interacting on the site and all this different stuff, at the end of the day, like if you've got questions, please reach out. Our help channels are on Discord. We're going to be releasing a new FAQ at some point. I'm saying that out loud so that I actually do it. Thank you, everyone. Hold me accountable. This banana may have just been talking stupid. So just make sure that this banana is held to its word. Honestly, I'm just excited to actually make that onboarding process, just in general, the idea of joining Blaseball for the first time, a little less intimidating and a little more exciting, a little more enticing, if you will.
Yeah. I think something that we've talked about a lot in developing short circuits and in talking about the next iteration of Blaseball 1.0 is the idea of honoring the experience of the fans and everything we've sort of been through together as a community, and making sure that Blaseball retains that level of familiarity and comfort and, you know, terror as it does. But beyond that, making sure that the experience is welcoming to new fans. So, you know, all of the people that you go and tell about Blaseball and your friends have to listen to you talk about it for a really long time, and maybe their eyes glaze over a little bit and they act like they need to go to the bed. For those friends, now you can have a much easier way for them to get into Blaseball, to participate in it with you without it being so overwhelming or confusing. So we're trying to keep the mystery and keep that spirit of Blaseball. Spirit, ooh, Halloween. Sorry, y'all, I'm on one today. But making sure that we're making the game more approachable for folks as well, so they can join us on this adventure, this funny little research adventure that we're going on together.
It's still gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be rowdy. All right.
Scary. Good thing we're
spooky, scary.
no.
Any other short circuits, comments, concerns, questions? Okay, great. Then we are going to answer the regular Inside of Blaseball questions as we go, and if I see anything in chat, maybe I'll say it out loud instead of the questions that I prepared. Who knows?
Bria, I'm really hot in this costume, so I'll be right back. I'm just gonna change real quick. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Okay.
We'll carry on without you.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Great. How short is the circuit? It's going to be 2 weeks. That's how short.
You didn't think there'd be an answer, did you?
Haha, I was prepared for that one. Okay, perfect. So I asked everybody to send us festive and holiday themed questions. So a lot of these are going to be about horror and spooky movies, and maybe a lot of people asked about the Spooky Town Bones. I bet Steven has some time on his hands to maybe find the roster and we could read off a few players later, but who knows? Where is Spooky Town? I don't know. The commissioner
Nobody knows.
is doing a great
Undefined.
job. Felix, welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, this is much better.
And I saw someone asked if there would be elections during short circuits. There will be elections. They're going to look different. Hope you're excited. Everybody's yelling the word Felix. Question number 1. Is participating in Inside of Blaseball more fun or more scary? How do you determine what everyone is allowed to talk about versus what counts as spoilers? This one comes to us from Null Haley on the Discord. I love Inside of Blaseball and think it's very fun, but that's because I love attention. As for questions, I put some guidelines, I think, on the Discord and on Twitter, but what I try to look for is things that are more open-ended so that we can have more of a conversation as a team. Anything that isn't just about plot or hyper-specific, so that multiple folks on the team can talk about stuff and it's not just Steven the whole time answering plot questions. And stuff that would be interesting for folks to know that wouldn't appeal to just, a very small subset of the community, but appeals to a lot of folks. As for what's a spoiler or not, I determine that mostly on a gut check based off of what I've heard the writers talk about. And
Vibes only.
yeah, it's all vibes. And then I post the questions ahead of time so that anybody can nix anything that they don't want to answer. Hasn't happened yet. Sure it will. Everybody else, is this fun for you or is this frightening?
Oh, fun only. I don't think it's frightening at all.
You're not scared?
No. You mean on a Halloween episode?
Maybe you will be.
I'm scared of Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joel's pretty scary.
That's fair.
I was scared the first time when Sam tried to share his screen. That was scary, and since then
That was
nothing's
so
been
good.
frightening.
that
Nothing's been
was
frightening
bad.
since then. I'm not gonna lie. It's all been
It's all-
easy sailing from here on out.
It's all gravy since then.
Yeah, no problem.
Easy peasy. Beautiful. Well, then we will return to the expansion era for a moment. Someone has asked, Blaseball Polls has asked, which of the 4 end zones from the expansion era would you go to? The desert, the black hole, the vault, or the hall?
My answer is definitely whichever was closest at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever
Not
means I
black
survive.
So I'm being strategic, and this is not, I'm not spoiling anything. I'm not being ominous in any way. To answer the last question, I do like this because I like just throwing out vague, ominous stuff that might be teasers, or this is not that. But if I didn't know anything, it was purely being strategic, I'd probably pick the hall or vault because those are, the enemies, or friends, I guess. We've seen Pudge walk out of the hall enough times that I'm not too scared of that, and you get to hang out with Binky or the monitor.
Sorry, what?
What?
Hang out with the monitor. That's what I thought
The
you said.
monitor. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Binky my blinky.
But I will say that I really loved just that straight, reckless rapture for the deep feeling of going straight for the black hole that I saw a few teams just go for. So I don't know. I think it would just whatever felt right in the moment. But yeah, black hole seems pretty rad too. Watching the sun. I will say, last thing I'll say is watching the sunbeams go directly to the desert, like a straight line.
It's perfect.
Then a straight line back to the mound, and then back to the desert was just perfect. So, I can only hope that in a moment of crisis like that, I will have that kind of just determination and certainty.
It's really impressive.
I think I would definitely pick the black hole because when you get to the other side of the black hole.
Whoa. Okay. Well done, Rhea. Strategic muting.
I didn't mute Gabe.
No, I know.
No, Joel did.
God did.
God came down and muted Gabe. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of.
I've realized now that you're making a joke, and I just didn't meet you there. I think based on my mental fortitude right now, I would just stay on the chart wherever I was and let the black hole take me. Just consume me with everything around.
I'm really curious to hear what Joel would pick. It's a good point.
Black hole it is.
Yeah.
Par for course.
That was actually quite spooky.
Jesse and Elena, what about you?
Yeah, where y'all going?
I don't know.
Me? Oh, I'm all about spaghetti. So black hole it is.
That's true.
I'd probably be really boring and say desert.
Desert's great.
I feel like that's where the firefighters went. So.
Yeah, but the thing about the desert is that it's actually way scarier than people realize.
But it's a desert. I don't know. It's the more interesting. I don't want to go to the black hole. I don't want to die. And I don't like the awkward
You
scenes.
just see spaghetti. It's fine. It's fine.
Spaghetti.
East was the hall, as we've seen. So you might be mixing up the mods.
It's I don't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Great work, all of us.
We're so biased because I know all the stuff. So
it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I do love Binky. So.
Excuse you?
I said it.
Moving on.
I'm
Next
not
question.
afraid. This one comes to us from Keeper Max. Max wants to know, this may be a question for Joel, so maybe he'll type it in the chat. But Max wants to know how difficult it was to make the game modular to the point where we could have black hole shut off or eat parts of it. And when was the call made to start doing that?
When was the call made? I don't know.
I don't know when the call was made. It was late into the process, not too late.
It wasn't the same week.
Well, that call was made pretty early.
Yeah, that was pretty early because I didn't do any of the stuff to make it swallow anything. Like I didn't code any of that.
Yeah.
But I do recall like there was a lot of testing being done to make sure nothing would break. I feel like it was both less work and more work than expected. If that makes sense. Like a lot of them were pretty easy, but then there were a few that were like, uh-oh, this is kind of a pain.
Yeah, and some things were definitely more tightly woven into things than you would expect. And so being able to remove a rule that it seems like it would be easy was actually, for some things, really, really hard.
Yeah,
there's a
that's.
question. There's a lot. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say if that's just what I remember, but I wasn't the one doing it, so.
Yeah.
I remember
And
one
There's
honestly,
a lot
dog.
of discussion of like,
that was the easy
what
part.
can the black hole nullify?
Yeah, we
And
did have to have that conversation of what how far can we go before the game just stops working completely.
Yeah, and there was a lot of consideration too for like, okay, what if it eats this thing before that thing? What happens?
Yeah,
Will it still work?
the order of
The answer
operations.
is surprisingly yes, and surprisingly far.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that one good thing about Blaseball is that very often we are faced with consequences and we say, "Great."
Thank you for the
Let's go.
consequences.
We were totally. I remember like we were expecting the sim to like eat everything but turntables and just
Yeah.
leave that one.
Yep.
And then so when that went early, that was a relief, and we knew we'd be all right.
Yeah, and then also the big one was all you can eat, 100%, because that was the one that had the most stuff attached to it, because it was like snacks and stuff. Like there was a lot of like stuff you can do with your snack slots and stuff that uh made that, a little complicated, and it was just like knowing that that was gonna go ahead of time, like
Mhm.
and what you would have to like we all knew, and so it was like the like lead up to it was very funny. I don't know. Just I remember people talking about like having very small like because the meta was to have like very few snacks. So you ended up with like one slot and then you couldn't have anything else because you couldn't buy new slots, which is entertaining to me.
I I remember the moment all you can eat got eaten on the Discord because the amount of pings that I received immediately about it being a bug or people being very worried that they wouldn't be able to help those around them or trying to figure out how to get around it being eaten and everybody just going bananas as it were, just like Felix. It was a rowdy few hours. I remember I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit at my computer now, and we're just gonna have some conversations and handle some stuff.
And the herring thing, yeah, that was intended. We
Mhm.
left that on purpose. Uh, we knew. Don't worry.
We knew.
Yeah. It's not obvious a lot of the times, but we ended up actually, a lot of the, I guess, things that helped you all at the end were deeply tied into the herring system and into the story of the detectives, and that was intentional, sure.
Yeah, I think it was intentional enough.
Yeah.
As intentional as
Yeah.
Blaseball coming through us ever is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll like end this with just saying like there was a lot of work put into like the black hole eating stuff, and there sometimes like it didn't even eat everything. Like it could, it ate teams and stuff, and that was like a whole thing that we had to set up because if you have no team, and that was a huge pain. I remember that, like of like coming up with how it's supposed to look and how it's gonna work.
We did some wild stuff in expansion, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't know how we did it, honestly.
Mm.
I kind of
Glad
blacked
that's
out halfway
over.
through.
The end definitely, I think, was a lot of we didn't know any better and just sort of went for it.
Just putting it all in the pot.
Yeah. If
Well,
you
we did
guys
the
felt
thing-
like you were watching the end of an anime, we felt like we were participating in one for sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was like an anime where the creators forgot a bunch of plot lines and so had to wrap them all up really quickly, and it felt really like all at once.
Yeah.
Not like
I
that we were rushing.
I wouldn't even
just,
say
like,
it
there
was
was a
that
lot
we like
going on.
forgot. We didn't forget. We did the thing where we said, okay, this is how it's gonna work. This is enough. We're not going to add to it. And then at the first opportunity, we went, well, we have to do this. And then we just kept going. So
No one told us
that's-
no.
So
yeah.
what was the plan before the sunbeams changed everything? Oh, that's right. That's not the next question. What's the next question, Britt?
Oh, I mean, we can talk about that. People have asked. Do we want to talk about what the ending was before the beams changed it? Or do we want to leave that a mystery to
No.
either?
The beams changed history.
Yeah. As far as we're concerned,
Talked about this.
yeah, we've talked about how the beams change it, but we didn't talk about what it was going to be before. But as
Yeah,
far
we
as we're
did.
concerned,
It would
that
have been
we
less
got the
fun.
ending. Yeah, that it was
Mhm.
supposed to be. Thank you, beams, for your writing credit on Blaseball.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I mean, and I think that's part of it too, right? Like the ending was to create, in a way, a big part of our plan was to create like, okay, here's a set of tools that the fans can use to like tell us what sort of ending they want, and I think that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
of that
I guess
collaborative storytelling.
for clarity, we're talking about when the beams decided to charge the mound at the end of at the end of expansion era, towards the coin, changed our ending. That's what we're
Changed it
talking
all.
about. If you didn't know what we were talking about,
If you were like, why are we talking about the beams and rushing?
yeah.
It's football. Next question. Have you had a favorite Discord event? Whether it was Mafia, which is running right now, the trial, charity events, video game club, anything like that that you've seen on the Discord and been like, yep, that's great. I love it. This is not open season to compliment me, but
But yeah, you're doing
I
a very
would-
good job.
but I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't say no.
And
This
then
one
I'm
comes to
gonna
us from Jumble the Circle on Discord, I believe.
I'm gonna break everyone's heart. I don't go on the Discord, so I don't have a great
Oh.
answer to this question.
It's fine. I'm fine. I get it.
I'll say, I mean, all of the like the charity efforts and everything that the community organizes is always amazing and something that we're super proud of. For me, it's when I think about the Discord or my favorite moments, it's just been like in watch party when something was going crazy and then we like broke Discord, where
Always.
the community broke Discord. Like that's so much fun and such an exciting feeling, and feeling like you're in the stadium with everybody, if there was a stadium, is that I've never experienced that anywhere else but with this community. So
Yeah, and
Also,
oh, go ahead.
Jesse, go first.
you first.
No.
All right. Always feeling welcome on the Discord. I don't know anybody who's come into that Discord and has not felt welcomed and helped or just engaged. Great.
That's nice. Thank you.
That's sweet.
Everybody works really hard, and the custodians do a good job teaching people. And I liked when that one guy said, "What is Penat?" I don't remember who it was. But
Said what?
Penat. What is Penat?
What is Penut?
yeah.
But
I'll also say like watching the community organize in Discord and like trying to pull off the sacrifice or trying to pull off necromancy or the idols board weather icons in the discipline era or just watching fans rally to each other at the end of to help each other at the end of the expansion era. Like that's amazing. Like we just can sit back and kind of just enjoy that. So that feels really incredible.
It's funny because like when I think about what you're talking about, Stephen, with like the sense of community and like when we break Discord, I always try to pull up like one thing, and the answer is always like, no, it's fun every time. It's exactly as fun now when it happens as it was when shame first happened, or when like shame was great, right? Everybody discovering what shame is and then getting excited every time it happened, because it was one of the only things that happened in baseball back then, by the way. Is like so wonderful, but at the same time it's still just as exciting when being like when the coin shows up or when and everybody's chanting, etc. So there's something about that energy that hasn't really chilled, which I love. I love that the energy is just y'all are up here and you're like very rarely down here. Sometimes we ask you to be down here, but listen, you're committed to up here, and I respect that.
It's 24/7 zoomies, and we love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This is maybe more of a somber memory, but I really like enjoyed is not the right word, but loved when the Deathmans died. I thought that was an incredible moment because that sort of collective experience. At least I don't know of another time when it's happened. You know, maybe someone else has had that experience, and if you have, please let us know about it because I want to check out whatever media is creating that experience. But for me, that's definitely, again, maybe not like the most positive thing, but for sure one of the ultimate highlights.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the Fridays as well.
Yeah, the Fridays too. Yeah, I jumped into the Breathmints channel and I was with the Fridays, which has been my team from the beginning, watching what we knew was gonna happen and just hanging on for a while was really amazing. So really just big shout out to like the entire community for rolling with it and having fun with it and taking that in stride, because that was really special.
Yeah. That as one of the people that helps approve all of the Discord events that we put on, like I'm always delighted when teams come up with something charming, like the Magic taking us on a nature walk, or a like extra life hype room, or the lovers recently helped us with an Indigenous Peoples Day event. Like I always love that kind of stuff just because it's people doing something really creative and taking the initiative to make something that they want out of the space in their community. And it, helps us that we don't have to program everything. Everybody gets a say in the space that they're hanging out in as well. But big events like Mafia, like the trial, are Heraclean level of moderation lifting, and so I have a complicated relation with them. But I always love seeing how much fans enjoy them. But the Eclipse show at the end of Expansion Era, watching everybody show up just to like mourn the people, well, the players that died at the end of Expansion Era, and like come together as that community. It was something that I've talked about before, planning for a long time, like something that I really wanted to happen, and to have that space for fans to sort of share that moment and to see it like happen, and then have everybody take to it in a way that was really meaningful to the teams that then had to experience this very scary thing, was like a culmination of a lot of my work and a culmination of a lot of the work that everyone in the communities put in. And so it was really special to see that happen. Okay. Now I'll hop off my soapbox. I moved my mouse to the other side of my desk and I forgot. So that was me reaching for my mouse and not being able to find it so that I could scroll on my question sheet. So we're gonna dip into Spooky Town. And Slapios on Twitter has asked, and Elena, I know you've prepared for this one. What horror films should you watch to understand the type of horror that Blaseball is?
Everyone else should go first.
Okay.
My answer is going to be
I
long.
have a couple.
Steven, go ahead.
Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Everyone
Not
should
a
watch
horror
that
movie, but okay.
It is a horror movie. It is absolutely a horror movie. Dark Waters, the Mark Ruffalo movie about DuPont just poisoning everybody. That's a horror movie. I don't care what anybody says. That kind of feels like thematically Blaseball. I don't know. Elena, you go.
Does anyone else want to answer?
I feel like it's a basic horror movie, but I feel like Scream has big Blaseball energy to me, in the like very irreverent sort of like dips into politics level of like mocking the genre that it then makes better than maybe it was before.
Yeah, Scream was almost on my list, but it's not.
But it didn't make the cut.
It didn't make the cut for reasons that I won't explain, but not that I don't like Scream, because I love Scream, but it just didn't fit the vibe for the list I was coming up with.
Before you give us a list, Elena, I will say someone shouted out like Twilight Zone, and that's definitely
Twilight Zone was going to be on my list, and other short stories like that. But I have vetted Elena's list, and almost every one of my answers is on there, except and this is a suspense, I suppose, not a horror, but Stalker is also on there for me, just from the sense of pacing and the idea of the unknown and the idea of thinking you're going to get something and maybe not getting it. That's a really big one for me. And I do think, from my perspective, Stalker is a horror movie because it is absolutely terrifying the whole way through for me. So yeah. Anyway, everything else on my list is on this list. So go for it, unless anyone else has anything else to say.
So does a podcast count?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the podcast.
Because I actually always associated Welcome to Night Vale, the podcast,
Very
with,
same
with
vibe.
Blaseball a lot. Very much that. But
Elena, can you explain how you came up with this list, please, before you
Yeah,
do it?
I'll give the whole backstory. So, we see the questions beforehand, like the list, just see if we wanted to prepare any answers. And so I read the questions, and there's this question, and I was like, okay, I kind of want to prepare for this. I'll do it later. Last night, it's like 1 a.m. I like sit up in bed, and I'm like, I'm thinking of all these answers, and if I don't write them down right now, I will forget all of them. And I wrote down like a 20 movie list. And then after writing it all down, I looked at the question again and realized I had maybe misunderstood. I misremembered what the question was. It still fits the question, but my answer was more just like, instead of like what type of horror, it was more like the vibe of Blaseball in general. Like what horror movies have the same vibe, or I don't know. Vibe is the word I'm using. It means it can range from like thematic elements to plot elements to just like a visual thing that I think is very Blaseball. I will not explain. I guess unless someone on this call presses me to explain.
Just give
Can
us
I
the
ask
list.
one?
Oh.
Can I ask, is Pulse on this list?
No. I
I
haven't
would
seen
also-
that. So
Ooh.
I would add Pulse. Yeah.
okay, then sure.
We'll just have to
I haven't seen
compile
That's the
this
one about
list and put it
Pulse
on the
is
Discord.
the one about the electricity and the wires, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
All right. This list ranges also in I will preface this. I don't actually recommend all these movies. Some of them are very weird and some of them are bad, but in a way I love. And also some of them just are okay movies. And like they have a very specific vibe that I wanted to capture. Also, you're gonna immediately tell what kind of movies I like from this list. Okay. Number 1 is Final Destination, the original Final Destination, the original specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Number
That
2,
tracks.
Saw 2, specifically Saw 2. That's the one where they're in the house. It's the one with the needle pit. I will not talk anymore about Saw because I know people don't like it, but I love Saw. So. Then I've got The Purge Anarchy and also The First Purge, specifically, not any of the other ones, although I haven't seen the newest one. Cabin in the Woods, which is probably the real answer to this question.
Classic.
Chopping Mall, that's CH, chopping, not shopping. Society, Mayhem, the Shudder movie, Upgrade, Reanimator, the original, Pet Cemetery, I guess either one. I guess I mean the book. Also It doesn't matter which one, just like the plot of It. Alien and Alien 2, The Belko Experiment, Battle Royale, and Resident Evil 2 and 3, the movies. Not based on the games, the movies. The movies specifically, which are very good, in a bad way.
Perfect.
That's my list. I actually don't know the number because I didn't number them, but
Well, Felix, no.
oh god.
Oh no.
That was a mind-blowing list.
If you have better ideas in the chat, I'm going to ignore you because I feel like my list is very good, and you're gonna name a bunch of movies I forgot existed, and it's gonna make me feel sad that I didn't add them. So
chat, do not interact. Focus only on the banana.
yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, speaking of food and snacks, Halloween treats were added to the snack sort of shop situation on old-timey Blaseball back in the expansion era, what would they do? What would you pick and what would they do? And this one comes to us from
Oh, candy
Eris.
corn, everybody.
There's a question later about everybody's opinion on candy corn, so save it for the lightning round, Jesse.
Candy corn, but it has a
So no
50%
candy corn,
chance
then.
of giving you coins and a 50% chance of killing your idol.
I like that.
Because I feel like
that.
the two different reactions to candy corn
You gotta-
are it's good or I hate candy corn.
That's very
So
good.
here's an insight to the Blaseball design process. Candy corn is triangular and it has 3 things. So we would have to somehow encompass both of those
Yeah.
in the design of candy corn.
What is other Halloween candy? I guess just normal candy.
So
Normal
like,
candy.
yeah,
other
normal
Halloween
candy.
is candy.
Like
Oh.
Snickers.
I was gonna say a caramel apple, and then like your betting could be like sticky, where if
Yeah.
you like had an apple, you get a certain amount more from your bets because it's like
Like
it picks
that.
up more
You can
coins.
see other people's shadows that you're not a team of, and then try to steal, like grab them, like steal them.
Bobbing for apples. Yeah.
Smarties, but they have a massive penalty.
I like that.
Perfect. And everybody gets them. You start with the
Everybody
penalty.
gets
So
them.
sorry.
Yeah, you have to get rid of them somehow. No, Snickers, they let you see an extra stat on the player, which is their their anger meter.
That's
I was
good.
gonna pitch you get Smarties until you make a certain amount of money, and then you get a full size candy bar, and then the impact of that changes based off of
That's
what
good.
type of candy you get.
I like that a lot.
Yes.
Um,
Could we?
We
could
have to do
do
something with a
snacks back?
caramel apple. Like caramel apple, that's classic, like Halloween, like
Yeah.
old timey stuff.
God, I would.
I just
kill
can't
for
think of
one.
what it would do.
Sticky. Sticky.
Sticky.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why you stick it on other people's shadows players, and then
Rip
them back.
you rip them
Dylan,
back.
I
There
think
you
it would
go.
be nice because like a caramel apple is like an apple but more sweet, right? So what if you looked at your shadows but it just said everyone was really good?
I got a good one. Chocolate coins.
Ooh.
Ooh, gelt, nice.
They're coins, but you can eat them.
Yeah.
What
I
about
like
like the wax lips?
It's a little off season there, though.
I feel like chocolate coins are candy enough. What season do you eat chocolate coins in?
St.
Hanukkah?
Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's other stuff. I don't know. Candy, all candy is like Halloween to me.
Oh, someone said gummy worms. Dirt should definitely be a snack, like the pudding with the Oreos, and you have
Oh,
like the
yeah,
gummy
you're
worms in
right.
it.
Okay, dirt's
What would
fair.
it do?
If we did
I don't
like
know.
team-centered snacks,
Yeah.
that would definitely
Be the
yeah,
worms.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
keep trying to think of what you eat at Halloween, and I just think like spiders.
Imp designer Gooby snacking on some spiders. No, I love that for us. Actually, that's
It'd be
great.
really
Next
funny.
question.
That's a good one.
This one comes to us from Rainbow from the Discord. How many scary movies have you watched so far this month, and what's your favorite?
I'm gonna go first because the answer is none.
Okay. No?
'Tis the season.
Tis the
No scary movie.
season.
I'll go next in that normally Keeper Sigif, who is my roommate, and I will watch a bunch of horror movies in the fall because I used to be a big baby and now I'm like dipping my toes into horror. But I bought a house, so I've been moving and also running the Discord, so I haven't had a whole lot of time. So I watched Midnight Mass and it was dope. I watched Creep again, still pretty good. I'm sure we'll watch Scream here soon, and I saw someone ask in chat, I watch Over the Garden Wall at least 3 times every fall because I love it so much and have a tattoo of it. So if you're a big baby like I was once, Over the Garden Wall, great Halloween recommendation. Not too spooky, just a little bit, but it'll get you where you need to go.
I've watched a bunch and saw a bunch in theaters. I watch horror movies constantly.
What was your the question was what were your favorites though?
My favorites. This wasn't this month, it was last month, but I saw Malignant in theaters, and after sitting with it, I think that might be my favorite movie of this entire year.
Really?
It was so wacky, and I love that for it. I also saw Halloween Kills, and I enjoyed Halloween Kills a lot. I love Michael Myers, so I was a big fan. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I rewatched the Friday 13th remake from like 2009 or whatever, which isn't good, but it has my favorite version of Jason in it because he's like a survivalist in that movie, which is I think the best version of him. So I like that movie. I don't like that movie, but I like that movie. I don't know.
Sounds like Elena's got a lot of Rex.
I watch a lot of horror movies like all the time,
Yeah.
so it's not like anything special this month. You know?
Elena's been ending our stand-up meetings by telling us all to watch Halloween Kills,
In
just for
theaters
full
now.
Oh, yeah.
context. In theaters
A
now.
lot.
Listen, it's fun.
I'll say I've watched, I think somewhere like around 12 so far. My favorites, I haven't watched a ton of new ones. My favorite was more rewatching things. So of what I saw, probably Halloween and Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie ones.
Oh,
They're great. I love
hated
them.
them.
I love them. The original Halloween we watched, which is obviously a masterpiece. And then The Wailing, the Korean film that I really love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into
But, like,
any
all
zombie
time.
horror.
yeah.
All time.
ooh.
Give me any zombie horror all the time.
Really? Which ones? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Night of the Living Dead?
Like any zombie horror.
Really?
Zombies,
Yeah, totally.
Zombies are
It is my favorite.
Mm-mm.
We should have a.
For me, like the ultimate for me is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Shining. Like those are my probably top two, and then the Halloweens. I love the Halloween movies.
I love
So,
Halloween too.
I mean, The Exorcist made me laugh a lot. Like, I thought that was a hilarious movie. I don't normally like react to like horror, but one thing that really did freak me out was Event Horizon for some reason.
That's a good movie.
Like
like in Blaseball?
that one.
Event Horizon. That was almost on my list
That
too.
one made me creepy. Like that one creeped me out. Genuinely.
I went to go grab my jacket because I have a bunch of pins on it, and I'm just gonna see if I can show the camera without knocking my mic out of the way.
I believe
I
in
got
you.
a bunch of horror pins. So there's my Michael Myers.
It's
I've
very
got
small and cute.
Uzumaki. Bunch of stuff. There's an alien. I love
That's
him.
so good. I
Big
have
fan. Big fan.
I have a zombie fun fact, and it's that my high school that I went to is 15 minutes or less from the cemetery where they filmed the original Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh.
So
Ooh,
I would go past it
nice.
on the bus every morning and be like, something's going to come out of that graveyard and it is going to kill me and I'm going to die.
Oh yeah.
Zombies freak me out. So when I went to college, I took a class on the anthropology of the undead and broke
Ooh,
myself out of being afraid
fun.
of zombies because we had to watch a zombie movie in class every week for an entire semester, and I would just like sit there
Awesome.
like wide-eyed gripping the table as we watched like 28 Days Later and like I Am Legend. And now we're okay. Now we're okay with zombies, but Shaun of the Dead was the first zombie movie I saw, and it gave me nightmares for 4 months.
Shaun of
Really?
the Dead.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I'm
an
a
amazing
big
movie.
baby.
That's such a good movie.
Wow.
Did anybody see Joel move?
Yeah, he's
No.
moving all the time, Steven.
What?
He's on the stream.
He moved.
Is he frozen
Okay.
for you? Is that the problem?
Yeah, the screen
Yeah,
frozen.
Maybe. Anyways.
It's probably buffering. Well, wonderful.
Well, last
Oh, go ahead.
second, last thing. I just want to shout out one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Okay.
And I'm not joking, by the way. I genuinely love that movie. I just wanted to shout it out because I feel like no one ever talks about it. It's good. You just are haters.
Next question. This one comes to us from. I'm going to do my best to pronounce this one. Akasi? Akasai? We talk a lot about the horror of Blaseball, but from a development perspective, What's been the scariest thing that you've seen the sim do?
The Sim, not us.
The sim, yeah. So not Roll Dawn deleting the website.
Okay,
Hey,
that's so mean to him.
We ain't
That
don't talk
doesn't
about
hold on.
that.
It's
Wait,
incredible.
what are you talking about? That didn't
No, it
happen.
was
That
beautiful.
never happened.
Felix talks about it all the
I
time.
mean,
The
just opening up and looking at the sim code in general is pretty scary. Everyone.
Yeah,
You know?
Alarming.
It is
No,
alarming.
no one deleted the website. Stop talking about it.
No, yeah.
No,
Lock it in the
nobody
vault.
also deleted the database.
No,
That's-
nobody deleted anything.
We've never done anything
nobody
wrong.
deleted all the user data. That didn't
That
happen.
didn't happen
That's
either.
right.
Nope, I've never.
I forgot that didn't happen.
Well, it's a good thing that didn't happen, or that would be pretty spooky. Happy Halloween.
Really embarrassing.
Also-
people involved.
The real
Not
answer,
me, but
the real answer to the scariest thing the sim ever did was run multiple versions of itself at the same time.
Mm.
That was
Really?
the scariest. That was the scariest thing. the
yeah,
sim ever
that's early stuff.
Totally before my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm
haunting.
trying to think. I feel like it did something really. I feel like there should be definitely really easy answers for this, and I can't remember any of them.
It's done some unexpected things, but from the standpoint of like, oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah.
That was like the scariest one for sure.
Yeah, wouldn't the Grand Unslam be another one?
That.
Those are the same.
That's
That's
what-
that's when it happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's what happened. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being pretty frightened during the semi-centennial, trying to figure out if the sim would run what we expected it to do, or if it wouldn't, because it just ran differently than how it had in tests.
I guess mine is then the boss battle.
Oh, yeah.
But I think my answer is the boss battle, but only in our tests. It was very scary because it wasn't working the way we wanted it to, and then it
Yes.
wasn't scary at all in the real one. Because it worked.
Perfect.
Because it worked.
Because it worked. Thank God. What is something that you think the fans have made scarier than you intended? Did you ever think that fans would give Blaseball players as much humanity as they have, for example? Or do they have creepier interpretations of plot events than you meant for them to have? And this one comes from Kropoval on the Discord.
It made shelling so scary. I
Yeah.
feel like I saw a lot of stuff about how, like, really sad stuff about being shelled. I
Being
was
trapped
like,
in a peanut
oh.
shell alone, trying to get out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's not how I thought about it at all.
It's pretty horrifying.
I don't know. To me, it was like being like cryo frozen. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like you don't remember it.
Yeah, it's the. I mean, we say it all the time. Like it's the fans' care for the teams and the players that like bring the horror to the game. Really, like it's because the community cares and the sim does not care at all. It's that indifference that's like horrifying. So like even connecting back to the last question, you know, the things that I think of are scary is like coming into an election and then just seeing what the sim did. There have been a couple times where it felt very targeted, or just like, you know, the sim being overly dramatic in a way that was like, oh great, now we have to roll with this and deal with it. But that's because, you know, stories emerge and people latch onto characters and care a lot, and then the sim will just rip that away from you.
There's something about the live nature of Blaseball and the way that we're all experiencing the same thing that like I don't know, it's almost philosophical in the way that it's like the things that happen when the website are running matter in a way that they don't when we're sort of doing tests. Like we can be worried that it's not going to work or something, but we see so much wild stuff happen when we test, and we're always like, oh, this would be funny if it happened.
Yeah.
But then when something like 1/10 as intense ends up happening, it's like, oh my god, it's tragic. It is a completely different level. I don't know, that's one thing I feel like is always interesting to talk about and think about, is like, especially because we've been testing for so long at this point without having any live stuff. We're now coming back to a place where I'm so curious to see sort of what happens when we get to November.
Yeah.
That wasn't a threat, by the way.
Unless I did see someone ask the wildest thing that we've seen in tests that didn't come to pass in real games, and I just want to share very briefly that in one of the semi-centennial tests, Jessica Telephone did get incinerated.
Yep.
And what a moment that was to watch that happen.
I will
And
admit I cheered.
I remember that.
I thought it was very funny.
it was like we were watching the test and then Steven went, Jessica Telephone just got incinerated. And all of us were like, what? And then we all yelled about Jessica Telephone.
We were like, I was mad that the sim wasted it on a local, not on a real one. I think the drama would have been up so high.
It would have been an incredible drama
yeah.
during the semi-centennial, but at what cost
Totally.
to the moderation team of the Discord?
I know. I just find incineration's
The
funny.
Sim was like willing to in the test, like the test seasons for that final season. The Sim was willing to take out half the league.
Yeah.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot.
Yep.
A
True.
lot of teams died in tests. Like a lot more.
Like most.
Yeah.
the tuning on that was extremely difficult because we in all of our tests it was a lot more than 2. We can say that very safely.
It was bordering on a point where we were like, this is too much. And getting nervous about that. So
Yeah, if you ever wondered during the expansion era why there was so much messaging about the end of the era and if your teams would be okay and like a guidance on processing complicated emotions and like information about grief, if you ever wondered why, it's partially because of those tests.
Yes.
And how many more teams were destroyed in the course of them.
I do have one fun one was when that season the firefighters won the championship in my local. They had also won, and I predicted that they were gonna win because of that. I was like, they're gonna win. I can see the future. I know, and I was right, and I felt so good. That it's sometimes fun because you can like kind of like see who's gonna win, but then it's always a toss up.
Chat's losing it.
Felix.
Chat's going bananas. High
You get a
score.
soundboard.
Right.
Great.
next question.
Next question. After that brief palate cleanser, this one comes to us from Keeper Skates. Steven, you and I actually talked about this one this morning. Skate says, genuine question from a guy like me who makes weird art. How do you find the balance of making what you want to make without alienating your entire fan base or your audience?
Yeah. We talked a
The
bit about
key.
Sorry, wait, hold on. Before we answer that, Chad is saying bananaballism, and I wanted to share that. Great. Okay, Steven.
Gabe, what were you saying?
Oh, Gabe.
Oh, the key is to alienate like 70 to 90% of your audience. Only.
Yeah.
And then try to win them back with an abbreviated, slightly more palatable version of the thing that scared them all. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, Bria, I think you can speak to this really well. So I will let y'all say that, like what I said earlier to you, which was that it's a challenge. And, this is a new format that we're all working in really for like the first time, this kind of a live service game that is a massively multiplayer, like co-op storytelling experience. I, coming from my background in like film and then some of the games I've written on, I am very much like hate explaining things or, and so I'm always like, let's just roll with it. And, we need stakes and there are going to be highs and lows and we'll have to feel it,
Oh.
And
Goodbye,
Steven's gone.
goodbye, Steven.
Mid thought.
We need the
He
stakes.
alienated everybody.
He got kicked.
It's so
Alienated everyone so much.
I was like, yeah, Steven's opinion
Dude.
sucks, actually. It just kicked
Oh
him
no,
out.
his computer died.
All right. Well, Steven will be
Well,
back
that's final.
later. I don't have a very good Stephen Bell impersonation, so
It's
I'll fill the void.
unfriended.
That was incredible. The stream's
Steven
haunted.
is asking you, Bria, to finish what he's saying, but I think we can also let Joel pick it up from there if we want.
Yeah, I would love to hear Joel's thoughts on this. If you could just.
I'm gonna cut you off there, Joel, because I could not disagree more.
Yeah, I feel like the intentions are good there, but I think there's some more nuance to the issue. Okay, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I do think it is important to be true to your art, especially when it's quote unquote weird. I think one of the keys is to find the moments where like sometimes you like scare people really bad, and sometimes you're like in a banana costume eating a banana. And if you can treat both of those things with the same sort of decorum and seriousness, I think that is one place that can really sort of elevate things where you can use your art to sort of convey whatever you want and have the emotional impact of whatever you want, and hope then that it finds its audience. And that last piece, good luck and God bless, because I have no idea how to make that last piece work.
Yeah, I'm this is a question that I really want to talk about. I'm just losing it at Joel. But I think Steven and I had a conversation this morning about like the difference in a collaborative storytelling piece of media like Blaseball versus something like a book or a podcast or a movie, and that like anyone that's taken a creative writing course has learned about the show don't tell rule, and like where to find that balance between what you're showing versus what you're telling the audience, and how to trust them. I think and a black cat for Halloween. This is very good.
Oh,
I
baby.
think when it comes to something like Blaseball, which is so different from even a lot of live games out there, something that I try to think about a lot is the contract that we have with our audience. I think there are certain levels of trust that we put in our audience to sort of meet us where we are and engage with the things that we're creating, and understand that like the game that we're making is going to be what we want. But at the same time, because of the nature and the format of what we are doing, there's an understanding that there's space for the community to have a voice in that, to have a conversation with us, to impact based on the tools that we give them. And I think that it is really important when you're making a piece of media to think about the basics of it, the framework of it. How will your audience be consuming this? How will your audience be talking to you, if they're talking to you at all? At what point in the process are they communicating with you? And then to build your understanding of that conversation around what it is that you're making and what it is that you hope to make and the goals that you hope to accomplish. So with like Blaseball, because it's so interactive, it's sort of a push and pull of communication between both sides to sort of meet in the middle and figure out where we can have a successful balance versus, something like a movie or a book or an interactive like Twine game that you're making really quickly, or that you're making in a simple way that someone will just play and then, move on. It's a different conversation. And so the cat has shown me up a little bit, but that's how I feel about it. And the cat is named Brisket. That's Brisket?
That's Brisket.
That's Brisket.
That's Brisket.
Where'd you
I
go,
only have
friendo?
one more thing to add, which
Yeah.
is you can't create out of fear. Like what you try to give your audience has to be out of like some true emotion. If you want to scare them, that's fine, but you can't do it because you're scared of repercussions or scared of them not getting it or something like that.
Yeah. It's a leap of faith, as it were. All right. This one is tangentially related, and this comes to us from Tenar the Leaf Cutter. What lessons do you think Blaseball should teach or is teaching other game developers, storytellers, or community managers? Ask or answer as broadly as you like.
Yeah, macroeconomics, basic Marx theory.
How to moderate discourse.
A rejection of modernism.
Yeah.
Rejection of modernism, definitely.
Yeah.
Puns.
There's what?
Puns? Like how to use
Puns?
puns in your game.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, great. Thank
How
you.
to play a sport.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I hope, and this is like not something that I think it's teaching them, but like one of the things that I hope from Blaseball is the sort of like, uh, especially people who work in video games get really wrapped up in the sort of idea that they're like making a game for someone who's going to be playing it, and that interaction is super, super important. And Blaseball ultimately is way less about that, right? Like on this stream, we spend basically no time talking about the specific player interaction that takes place. All of the stories that come out of Blaseball aren't like, oh man, I did this sick, awesome kickflip and then punched a guy in the face and then threw the grenade and got the high score.
Why not?
Yeah, well, that's all coming.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Version 2.
Get
That's
amped.
all planned. But so much of it is about just the collective experience that we have and the stories that we tell to each other about things that happened. And so like I have no idea what the end game of that is, but my hope is that there are more people who, I don't know, get inspired by it or take that as sort of permission to make experiences that aren't push button to make things happen.
Beautiful.
Sorry, my computer died.
Welcome back, Steven.
Your computer or
Yeah.
We're silenced.
Died. Like Halloween.
Ah,
Whoa.
I was confident Bria would pick it up for me, so.
the ghost in your computer.
Oh, Joel covered you.
We had your back.
Yeah, we got it.
Joel got it? Joel
Yeah,
got
Joel
it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about how it's really important to compromise your artistic values for the sake of both
Yeah.
profitability
Yeah,
and
yeah,
success
yeah,
in a
yeah.
capitalist
And you
market.
should
Absolutely.
totally sell out immediately all
Yep.
the time.
That's what I was trying
As
to
soon
go
as you
for.
can
Yeah.
through NFTs. Yeah, we talked all about
Yep.
it. How they're really great. And yeah,
And then he complained that we
Blockchain
were,
for the win.
yep.
He complained that we were working him to the bone and then shut his light off.
We are all blocks in this game.
I'm moving on from that. we're gonna take it a little lighter here. Pandora from the Discord asks, "What would the Blaseball gods and beings dress up as for Halloween?"
Yeah, so one of them would definitely be a peanut, and one of them would definitely be
Some
An
sort of
all-consuming
currency.
fire.
Yeah,
is that dressing up though?
I think one of them would be Sasuke from the
That's
hit
a bit how
shonen
they
anime
manifest,
Naruto.
right?
With
Yeah,
the
that's
Sasuke.
true.
I mean, we could, like, there have
You
been
know what-
different visual depictions of the
You-
Blaseball gods.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the thing about like if a horse wore pants,
Mm.
would it wear it like this
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like this?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my answer.
Think about
That's my
it.
answer.
Wake up, America.
Yeah, I think the Blaseball gods like appear to us in a way that in the best way, like in a form that we can best perceive them given the
Yeah.
era that we're a part of, right? Like we found like evidence of recently found evidence of like other manifestations of the gods. Hey Joel, welcome back. So yeah, I think it changes. I mean, you just have to look at like the book and who signed it and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it changes from era to era as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great question.
Yeah. Well, as a follow up from a lot of people and some folks in Twitch chat, but I saw DD DeGroni ask, "What would Parker dress up as for Halloween? What is Parker going as for Halloween this year? Do we know?"
Oh yeah. I mean, Steven, have you called him to ask?
I didn't know. Did
Oh.
Joel?
Has
You guys
anybody-
talked to Parker?
Has anybody checked in on Parker?
No, we left him in the office.
I'm sure it's fine. I think Parker would go as a as Pickle Rick for Halloween.
No. Oh, no.
No, 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 no.
Wow. Okay, great. Next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Great. Here we go.
Sorry. My face is so red. Alright. This one comes to us from Cloud Gaming. What's your personal favorite Blaseball as a horror game moment? For those that are new around here or haven't hung out on the Discord, it's almost become a meme to talk about when bad things happen in Blaseball. Everybody goes, yeah, well, Blaseball is a horror game. Because it is a horror game. So do we have any favorite horror game moments? My favorite is when Steven explained to me his concept of Luocrates for the first time, and I really had to think about the concept of a speaking box of crates that carry soulless versions of the players that we know and love inside of it. And I think
That's
about
that's not all Luocrates carries.
that's not all Luocrates has within it, but I have not been able to shake the gamer box full of soulless eyes and arms clawing out of it, speaking in unison
Oh,
to us. So that's what I've been thinking about for months since Steven talked to me about that. Anybody else?
Mine's Ruby Tuesday, when we all collectively realized how bad it was about to get.
Yeah.
We
I
were
mean,
like,
I don't know if it counts
"Oh."
as horror,
Oh,
but
you
Pitching
gotta
Machine.
amplify that.
I would say Pitching Machine drinking blood is
Yeah.
one of my
Good.
favorite moments. Yeah.
Do you need me to explain Ruby Tuesday?
Yeah, give Jesse a TLDR.
Nah, I'm good.
No?
Yeah.
Well, it's really quick. Well, I just
It-
said
I-
that, and
we
then I
can do it
remembered how
really
much.
quick.
It's not really quick.
We can do it very
it's really
quickly.
quick. A player came back from the dead and then proceeded to, in order to pay for their necromancy, give a number of other players debt, which was collected by those players being incinerated. And Ruby Tuesday is when all of those pieces became laid bare. We actually spent that whole Monday
freaking out.
waiting for it to happen, and it didn't happen until Tuesday. So
Yeah.
the sim trolled us for a whole 24 hours.
Basically,
Nice.
a bunch of players got incinerated, and when they get incinerated, they spread the instability to other players,
Yep.
so it can chains.
Yeah.
And it was very scary when we realized how fast it was going. It just started killing fan favorites like constantly.
Another
Love
piece
it.
of like just emergent narrative storytelling that I really love that adds to like the mood, I think, is OG Parker trying to roam every
Oh,
week.
yeah.
That was good too.
Oh, yeah.
Just knocking against the door, or against the force
Crying
field.
out alone, trying to leave.
Just knowing that he wanted to move and being able to watch that every week. Well, we also said like, yeah, he shouldn't be able to go anywhere because of the force field, but also like,
Yeah.
breaks all the time.
It was scary for us because we were like,
yeah.
we have to. He won't escape, right?
What if he breaks
Right, like,
containment
every time
early?
It was like, okay, good, he's still there. Yeah.
The word "should" does a lot of heavy lifting in
Yeah.
our conversation.
Yeah. That's why I put it in like every Slack message I ever send. There's like "should" is in there. Like
Yeah.
it
Should,
should
bolded.
do this. It should do that. Like, listen.
There's one other moment that I really like that I think gets really overshadowed by the last week of the expansion era, but it's the semi-centennial. The payoff for the semi-centennial, I think, was a good Blaseball as a horror game.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was watching the community scared out of their minds. Basically try to get the fifth base into the semi-centennial to trick the sim and to trick Megan Ito into taking that so that the force field wouldn't be taken. Watching that happen and then waiting for the entirety of the semi-centennial for then the force field to be taken and to have everybody lose their marbles, and just the fear that like crept in everywhere was so delicious.
Just
to
the
me.
fear that everyone else had, and just the unfiltered joy we all
Yeah.
had when it happened. You know, like cheering out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
We-
Oh,
Yelling.
I know y'all were losing it. It was great. It was
Yeah.
also my first week of work.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so
that
it
was your
like-
first week,
Yeah, it
wasn't
was.
it?
Yeah, we're like
Yep.
cheering that he stole.
Oh yeah.
Jesse's like, "Who's Rat Mason?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Rat Mason's legend of the game.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that like really makes that moment stand out for me is that it's one of those times where, you know, we had set up all of these systems, right? Like, and then we let them play out, and we didn't know what was gonna happen. And I feel like, you know, the right way to do this is to script those moments of high drama.
Yeah.
Right. Is to have an idea of, okay, great, we're now at the climax of the game, so we're gonna have a cut scene to deliver the emotional impact. And we do not do that. We lean so far the other way that everything that happens is shocking and really, really impactful for us. Hopefully as well as you.
Yeah, basically
And
the answer is literally
that's-
every moment is terrifying for us.
Yeah.
It's so scary. Every
Well,
moment
but
that
it's
Blaseball is
also-
running is horrific.
It's also incredibly brave. Like, you know, from having been an outsider coming in, like every choice you're making in some level is incredibly brave to go by the seat of your pants and let the sim play out and do what it's going to do and then respond to it on a week by week basis. It takes a ton of work. It's incredibly brave and it's incredibly like improvisation.
Mhm.
Like it's a little bit of jazz, right? Like
It's a little bit
Or
of
that's what we're
jazz.
doing every week
think
is a
we
little bit of
I feel like
or a
that
lot
was
of jazz.
Sky's
that
the
was a
limit.
statement made.
Yeah, I think bouncing off that very briefly, because I read all of the question submissions for Inside of Blaseball. If you are a person out there that has ever submitted a question where it was like, on this day with this team, this thing happened, and was that like planned or waited to happen more often, or was that completely random? The answer in almost every case is like completely random, had
If
no
it
idea it was
happened-
going to happen.
If it happened in the game, in a game, it was definitely random.
Yeah.
Occasionally there's like stuff where we have to like fix something and that's obviously not random, but
Right.
usually it's as a result of like just fixing something that randomly happened that was supposed to happen a different way.
Yeah. One of
Like
the
items going to the wrong player or whatever.
right. One of the first questions that I picked for the lightning round, but while we're on the topic, I will shout out here to answer it, is from Ario Kart on the Discord, and it was essentially was Parker sent to the Fridays on purpose, or did that just happen randomly? Was that just luck?
No, we had
no idea.
We did not affect that, and Parker went where Parker wanted to go, and the fact that it was like the Fridays that cursed Parker, and we knew Parker was about to roam, and then we had to go find him, and sure enough, he knew as soon as he was free where he was going. That we were stunned. Yeah.
When during that whole thing with Parker roaming, genuinely we would all be like on a call, and then the moment would hit when Parker was supposed to roam, and everyone would be like, okay, everybody find Parker, like where did he go, to try to hunt down where Parker
It really
went
was.
first.
It was like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, it was a
Where's
Where's
Waldo?
Waldo for Parker.
If I had to give you just advice in general, I would say don't make a system where you have to check it every 9 hours to find out what happened, because you have to sleep also.
Yeah.
That's my pro tip for if you want to make a Blaseball.
Or
Yeah.
develop a system where you don't need any sleep, and then you can do whatever you want.
Mhm.
Rhea, you're a genius. Let's ship it. Let's do that.
Didn't think about
Fix
that,
that.
did you?
Let's do that one.
Big brain ideas.
I'm sure there's a horror story in there somewhere.
Uh-huh.
The computer
I
ate
don't-
my
I
brain.
don't sleep anymore.
Stephen awake at
I wake up at
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Hops onto the Discord. Hey everybody, at 8 a.m. before I'm even awake Eastern time, and I'm like, Stephen, please go to bed.
Yeah.
Go back
It's
to
okay.
sleep. All right. This is our final open-ended question. I think it was an appropriate one. This was actually submitted last time but I thought it was too perfect for October, so I held on to it. This one comes to us from G Manti, and this will be the last one before we hop into the Fast and Loose lightning round. G Manti asks, what should we be most afraid of?
I sorry, I don't mean to jump in on the start of everyone, but can I just say that I thought about this for like way too long. Like this
Kept you up
question,
at night.
it made me spiral. Like
This was your horror movie
Sure.
question.
It's haunting.
Here,
What should we be
okay,
most afraid of?
Well, I'd like to address you all individually.
Great.
So Steven, you should be most afraid of not living up to your potential.
Wow.
I'm so excited. Please keep
Why
going.
would you do that?
No, Steven, Gabe's having a moment. Let it happen.
Wow. It's
No.
like reverse.
No, Gabe, you
yearbook.
started this and now you have to finish it. You started it. You have to commit. You don't get to just bully Steven without bullying the rest of us.
That's it. We're done now. All right. Who else has an answer?
You should be afraid of. Oh, everything I'm about to say is really depressing. I was gonna make a joke about like real things, but then it just all sounded really sad. Never mind.
Climate change.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the
seriously.
slow crawl towards death, but that's
Yeah.
just sad.
Yeah.
Di-
I mean, I guess
Dying alone after losing your truest
Capitalism.
connections.
in a big way,
End
right?
stage capitalism.
Yeah, the thesis of the expansion era is that you should be the most afraid of innocuous seeming systems.
Yeah.
You should be most afraid of Gabe telling you, Gooby telling you
Oh
what
yeah,
you should be
yeah.
most afraid of. That's what you
Yeah,
should be
that's-
afraid of.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
You
I
should be
mean-
most afraid of Winnie Hess. Actually, that's also a
true.
pretty good answer.
Okay, but I do feel like you were encroaching on a very insightful answer to this, which is the thesis of the thing that we make, and
Yeah.
watching and enjoying and like having to participate in systems that seem like innocuous or built to help you, but made by people that don't have your best interest at heart, or unquestioning like the systems at play and then accepting the solutions that are proposed to you and framed as the opposition, but really do something very similar and hard. Like, I think something that Blaseball does that's very interesting to me as someone that thinks too much is I think we pose a lot more questions than I think we give answers. You know, like you can tell from playing Blaseball where most of us land, but we're not giving you the solution to existing in late stage capitalism by playing the game. But I think that's pretty spooky. Also, spiders.
You should be
pretty
most
spooky.
afraid of me. End sentence.
Yeah.
And
I should be
centipedes.
haunting your nightmares.
Centipedes are awful.
Centipedes are pretty
Centipedes are pretty
spooky.
bad.
Mm.
Yeah. Nothing should have that many legs.
Everyone in the chat is saying haunts.
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 Yeah.
Sure.
Those? No, I'm not afraid of
Okay.
I'd like to
You're
return.
not afraid of the haunts?
no.
Are you afraid of the haunts? A haunted house. I hate it here.
Are millipedes friends though? Someone's shouting out. Centipedes are like
know.
terrifying.
Yeah, I
Millipedes
think-
are like kind of
You
cute.
can be friends with whoever
Yeah.
you want to be friends with, as long as it's a mutually beneficial and
I feel it.
consented to relationship. I think.
And I never consent to centipedes.
Good to know. Thank you.
Out of
That's a good,
context, that's a
solid
weird
pull
one.
quote right there.
Solid answer about Blaseball here on Inside of Blaseball. Felix is back. Felix is
Felix has always
gone.
been here.
I think maybe the real thing to fear is
Fear itself? Is that where you're going?
no. I was
But I
gonna
thought it too,
I was
but
gonna
no.
say being a banana, being drawn on for the entertainment of the masses, peeled and then eaten by someone wearing a facsimile of your body on them
That's
for an
just fake.
audience.
Maybe we should all be most afraid of Joel.
Yeah. There have been a few moments where I've been pretty spooked by Joel's whole
Yeah.
situation. Not tonight,
I
just
think his
over the
house might
course
be
of
haunted.
my employment.
I'm so impressed that you invented bananimalism.
Bananabalism is extremely good.
That's very good.
It's
When we make
incredible work.
It's very good.
When we make a thumbnail for the video on demand of this stream, I think it'll just say bananabalism in everybody's yelling right ear. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to help you.
It's I think just the mic spike in Zoom.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everybody's
I feel like it
ears.
happens literally every stream and there's nothing we can do about it.
Okay. It's fine. All right. We're in the lightning round now. We've moved past the open-ended questions. We're going to move into some fast and loose situations. Oh, just kidding. Jesse's dog is here. We're going to look at the dog. It's Olive.
Olive.
Olive. She's so sweet. Okay. We already answered why Parker was sent to the Fridays, which is because Parker chose to go to the Fridays. What percentage of submissions for Inside a Blaseball have been about the Spooky Town Bones? Probably about 23%. You'd think more.
Really?
Yeah, everybody wants to see the bones. Steven, do you have the
Yeah.
ability to find the roster to someone?
I don't know.
I can do it. I
they're
can
lost.
show them the bones.
I could also do
Wait,
it.
wait.
Give me like 4 bones.
We
Are you gonna
find
do
the
it?
bones.
Gooby's looking for. While Gooby looks for the bones, we will answer a different question. This one is very long. Let me read it to figure out what it's about. A similar question to the Parker question. This one comes to us from Dargo on the Discord. Hello, Dargo. The question is essentially if the reform rolls were weighted in any particular way or if they were fully random because of the situations where like Chorby Soul rolled unstable or Paula Turnip re-rolled from the 2 times idle bonus modifier to 5 times. Is random, right? Like is all the sim
all
doing
random.
the sim stuff.
It is
We-
the Sim is the lead writer
Yeah.
and has a tremendous sense of irony and drama. And
I think-
it goes.
One of the maddest moments we've ever been is when it rerolled the 2x payout to the 5x payout on Paula Turnips because we were like, God damn it, we should have thought of that, but we're just not that good.
Not
Yeah.
that funny. Did you find the bones?
We found the bones.
Great.
Mhm.
Break me off a bone.
A bone.
Yeah, give me
The
your
top,
favorite
the top
bone.
of the list.
top of the list. Cooper Mahima.
No, Majima.
Majima. Is that how you pronounce it? Really?
It's Cooper Majima.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Nice.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
instead of you went the Spanish route, but it's the Japanese route for
It is.
Yakuza.
Oh,
Yeah, from
okay.
Yakuza.
Yeah.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Majima best. That's not true.
I've never seen it.
Because
Majima best, that's not true.
I was about to say that, but it's actually not true because he's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Get him.
I like Ichiban now. I'm a Yakuza 7 fan now. So anyway, sorry, no more
Ichiban's
Yakuza talk.
great.
Keep going.
Give me another bone.
Also, the bottom of the list
Yeah.
is good.
Go for it.
Yamcha Swift.
Yamcha Swift. Extremely good. Give me the middle of the list.
Rishma Dine and Dash.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's
This
it.
is the lineup. I don't have the rotation.
Bye, Jesse. That's okay. Give me one more and then we'll move on. Everybody's excited about Dine and Dash.
Kwazuki Greg.
You're gonna
Nailed
have to
it.
spell it.
QUAZUKEE Greg. GREGG.
Oh, like from Night in the Woods.
I guess so.
It's Greg rules. Okay. Just me? Okay. That's fair. Excellent. There are your bones, adoring Blaseball fans. At least some of them. The rest of them, locked in the vault, but not that vault. Maybe. I don't know where the bones are. They're in Spooky
mind
Town.
vault.
Yeah, the brain vault.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's where
the bones
Spooky
in
Town
Spooky
was. Is that what
They're
anxiety is?
Spooky Town was inside us all along.
Spooky Town was the anxiety disorders we met along the way.
Absolutely not.
Great. Awesome. This one comes to us from Haley. What was your first ever Halloween costume, or the one that you feel was the most memorable?
The first one I remember, I was a butterfly, and my mom made me like a wingy thing that I would wear. It wasn't like wings; it was like things I put on my arms.
Oh, cute.
And held out. And they were very cute. I liked it.
Excellent.
When I was little, my father made me so this is like in the 80s. My father made me a Ghostbusters costume that had like a what I remember as being very sophisticated, high fidelity, awesome, which was probably just like a block of wood with some LEDs on it and like a rope. But I remember having a ghost trap, so I could throw it out and push a button and it would light up. And I think back on it, it was definitely not that sophisticated. But for me, I was like obsessed with Ghostbusters as a kid, and so I still am. And so it was a big deal, and that's very, very cool. Yeah.
I can go next. My first costume, my mom dressed me up as Blue from Blue's Clues. And I saw myself in the mirror with like the tail in like the dog outfit, and I got so freaked out that people wouldn't understand that I was me and not the dog from Blue's Clues that I locked myself into the bathroom and cried for 45 minutes until my mom convinced me to go trick or treating.
This is there has never been a more you story.
Yeah.
There
That's
there
such a
have
good
been,
origin
but
story. It's
this one's
unbelievable.
up there.
Yeah.
This is
It's
pretty close to the most you story I think I can imagine.
It's very
I love this
illuminating.
question.
My most memorable costume was either when I dressed up as Edward Cullen for Halloween and covered myself in
Classic.
body glitter, or in college when I dressed up as sexy Nicolas Cage and I wore a very cute, very short dress and a cardboard mask of Nicolas Cage on my
Okay.
face, and I
was
went
gonna say,
around
just
with the
Nicolas
Declaration
Cage.
of Independence, because I was cool. And Felix, you're muted. I don't know. Maybe that's intentional, so you don't hurt my feelings. But
No, I was just saying, I was agreeing with Elena that Nicolas Cage is already sexy. So you just have to, you put a dress on him, which is like perfect. Love it.
valid. Gooby?
I can just imagine what that looks like. The
Yeah,
cardboard mask.
I'll send you a photo later. It's extremely unsettling, actually.
Yeah, the cardboard masks already are like the worst looking
It's like
things in the
tiny little
world.
eyes cut in the like irises.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, it was rough. Rough
Just
stuff.
The face, terrible.
I'm not a very big Halloween person, but I remember one time I did the like lowest effort thing you could ever do, right? Which is just I went as a ghost with you put the sheet over yourself and I went as a ghost. And at one point I realized that it was actually not only did I have a costume, I had a giant candy bag because the whole thing could hold candy in it. And so that is the year that I had the most candy I've ever gotten because I just never went home.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just kept getting more candy.
That's incredible.
I remember
You've never been home since. You're still
That's
It's on the
correct.
run.
Still walking to this
still collecting
day.
candy.
Living off of Laffy Taffy.
There's a lot of calories in a Laffy Taffy.
It's
You can live
true.
for a long time off one Laffy Taffy.
I don't know what my first was, but it was definitely. I remember like a Ninja Turtle, and I think it was Dick Tracy one year. Does anybody know who Dick Tracy is?
Both detectives.
Yeah.
Both detectives. Yeah.
Okay, first
Batman.
of all,
does
Pictures
anybody
are not
know who
detectives.
Dick Tracy is icon, fashion icon versus
Yeah.
Batman's also a
Yeah.
detective, kind of.
Batman's a
right.
detective. The Ninja Turtles are ninjas, not detectives.
They're
They
detectives in their
solve
heart.
mysteries.
They
They
solve
solve
crime.
mysteries the way the Scooby-Doo team is solve mysteries. They're not detectives either.
They're also a detective gang. That is literally their job.
They're the
Alana.
mystery gang.
They solve mysteries.
That doesn't
By
automatically make you
detecting
a
things.
detective.
Wait, Elena, what do you think they do?
They solve mysteries. I'm not.
No, sorry. We're not saying they're professional detectives.
Yeah, do you need to
or
see
good
their
at it.
permit?
I know.
Amateur
I'm just
detective.
saying. I don't think the Ninja
Oh,
Turtles
boy.
really are known specifically for solving mysteries.
You need to
That's
give a
the
dog
thing.
a permit to
Way
solve a
better known
mystery?
for that than Ninja in IMO.
I mean, I feel like they
Uh,
mostly just fight skateboarders, right? Isn't that like the most of what they do?
Donatello does a lot just from a van, so
Oh.
I don't know. I think like Donatello's the most detective-y. Well, Raphael probably actually is the most detective-y.
I thought you were still talking about the Scooby Doo
Oh.
guys. That mostly they fought
Yeah.
skateboard boys.
Yeah,
and I was a
Raphael
little
and the
confused
Scooby-Doo.
about that.
Scooby Doo gang. You could argue are detectives, although they've never self-labeled as such. I don't think anyone's ever in my entire life I've ever heard Ninja Turtles be described as detectives.
Maybe
Until
they're
today.
detectives like Uncle Plasma and Liquid Friend, where they just weren't very good at it, but they did their best.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're detectives in that they are around mysteries sometimes.
That's right.
I do want to take us down a little path here since we've opened the gates to it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get everybody's favorite Scooby-Doo piece of media, please and thank you?
The live-action movies. End of story.
Oh.
The two big ones, not any of the
Can
other
I
ones.
get everybody else's favorite Scooby-Doo piece? I'm just kidding. I loved the first one a lot. Even though I have beef with Scrappy. But it's
No, you
fine.
should be. No, everyone should have beef with Scrappy. He sucks.
No,
He's got-
I was
I
not
don't
a
know much about
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, but I really
Yeah.
liked the episode of Harvey Birdman with Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Mhm,
That was really
that's
good.
solid.
Okay.
That's a good call. Yeah.
I always there's a Scooby-Doo episode that I don't remember the episode at all, but I remember the title, and the title is just which is which,
Mm-hmm.
and that always stuck out as like somebody did a
And
great
now you make Blaseball, you
Yeah.
criminal.
Now look at us.
related.
Yeah, I used to be scared of the diver. I don't remember his name.
With the very spooky laugh.
Yeah,
not
I don't
gonna
know
try to
what it was
replicate it.
about that one episode of Scooby Doo, but it really got me when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
used to watch. I'm you're all gonna make fun of me for being young again. I used to watch Boomerang after school, which is
Yeah.
the Cartoon
Boomerang
Network
rules.
section.
Boomerang
I don't know
rules.
how
That-
young
yeah.
or old that is or whatever, but I used to watch a lot of
Yeah,
Hanna-Barbera cartoons as a child because it was on TV.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of original Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I was obsessed with Scooby-Doo to the point where Slugger Notes and I have joked about starting a Scooby-Doo rewatch podcast called the Zoinks Cast, where we watch Scooby-Doo stuff and talk about it and how racist it was early on. Ooh, jinkies. But my favorite deep cut Scooby-Doo piece of media is Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. Because
that.
Dracula
Yeah.
kidnaps Shaggy
Mm-hmm.
and turns him into a werewolf
How does
and
that
and
how is
makes
that related?
and makes him
Wait.
drag race with cars against
yeah.
other monsters
yeah.
to
Yeah.
win his
Oh, no,
humanity
Oh,
back.
I do know about this
I
actually.
know exactly
Yes,
what you're
never
talking
mind.
about.
It's
It's
extremely
good.
good. And
I did not know
Um,
that those two things were like
Yes.
that
Yeah,
and how
same.
that started or the conceit for that. I had no idea
Yeah.
that was the conceit for that. Yeah.
it really stuck with me because I love Dracula's voice and it's like the only vampire voice I can do. But in my head, anytime I think of it, I hear Dracula go like, Shaggy is how he would say
Yeah.
Shaggy's name.
Yeah. The
I feel like
Bella-
Dracula showed up in like more than one Scooby Doo.
Yeah, Dracula was
I feel like
around.
Dracula's around a lot in there
Yeah.
somehow.
Well, so a different Dracula is in the ghoul school
Yeah,
because his
there's
daughter.
like Dracula all the time. It's Dracula. Like
Yeah.
it's they like are besties with Dracula at this point.
Yeah, I mean, oh Felix. The Boo
Just- I-
Brothers
I
is
just-
also very good.
I really like this now.
Yeah.
I'm really into.
Can you
I just
take
wanna
a
say-
There you go.
Can you
That's
take a
the
photo of
screenshot.
that
That's
on
the
your
screenshot.
desk after Inside of Blaseball,
Yeah.
and then can we make it an emote for main chord?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good work,
I'm on.
everybody.
I'm on
Okay.
it.
Next question. What are your opinions on candy corn?
No
Oh,
opinion.
candy corn's good actually.
Yeah, underrated.
I don't
Here's
really
the thing, candy corn is good, and then about like 6 to 7 pieces in, I'm like, don't make me eat more of this, and I start to wonder whether I'm in like a self-imposed like Saw situation where I have to eat more candy corn, otherwise I like
Yeah.
like
Felix,
it's
you must eat all the
like,
candy corn
yeah,
or cut your leg off.
self-imposed, but it's not good anymore. It's not good anymore, but I love it still. But also, I hate it. It's hurting me. So, yeah.
Candy corn is your needle pit.
Yes.
Mhm.
Candy corn is my needle pit. Anyway, that's my opinions on candy corn.
I think that's true. I think like 4 candy corn is good.
Yeah.
More or less, no.
If someone puts it in
No.
front of me, I'll put it in my mouth and eat it.
Like a
but
child.
Yeah, you can't.
It's just if there's food, I'm gonna consume it thoughtlessly.
I don't eat candy corn because I don't really eat candy that's not chocolate. No. I don't have an opinion on it.
Here's an interesting thing. I didn't know that in America you call chocolate bars candy bars because technically there's no chocolate in your chocolate bars. I did not know that. We call them chocolate bars here.
Because
we call them chocolate bars. I call them chocolate.
But no, like on the wrapper, I mean. Like
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me literally in any way.
America.
That's so wild. I had no idea. There's no
the greatest country in the world.
That's wild.
Listen,
the U.S. of A.
They could.
There's banana smeared all over my desk. Here
Industry.
Whatever.
Flat Circle asked a really good question, and it's what is candied corn? And I'd just like to point out that I do think it's messed up that kettle corn exists.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and
candied corn is kettle
candy
corn.
corn is in a completely different thing.
Yeah.
I think
it has nothing to do with popcorn in any way.
Deceptive.
It's rude to all parties.
Yeah.
I don't know
feel
why
like-
it's called that. I don't
either.
I don't want to know,
Gross.
so don't tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. This one comes to us from 10R the Leaf Cutter again. If you get a third one, it's a hat trick. Other people have asked this as well. Rank yourself.
You need the banana peel.
No, it was hair. It was your hair. It's not nice.
Oh.
Anyway, keep going.
Rank yourself from creepy to wet.
I saw this question and I
Just go with your gut. It's like picking a Blaseball team.
I know
Creepy-
exactly what this is
creepy or wet?
referencing, by the way. This is referencing like a tweet.
There's a whole there's a whole
thing.
unseen world, and I don't know anything
Or sorry,
about it.
a Tumblr post. I'm sorry.
It's a Tumblr post, yeah.
Is
Can
it?
you share the Tumblr post?
It's like it's not that in depth. It's just a Tumblr post where someone had a dream where it was like the dress situation where like for some people it was, purple or I don't remember what the colors were for that stupid dress. Anyways, they had a dream there was an image and the people were like it's creepy or it's wet was the thing, and then they posted a picture of like probably an image they found on Google, and it was like the image looked kind of like this.
Are we choosing creepy or wet, or
Yeah.
is it a spectrum from
It's a
creepy
spectrum.
to
What
wet?
does your heart tell you?
If it was Reddit, I'm sorry, or whatever.
I don't know. I'll go wet.
Yeah, I'm like soaked in a creepy way.
Like it's raining outside and there's a man standing there in the shadows.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Like a Hellraiser.
No,
Like
I'm
a
exactly like this.
It's like a mist.
In pouring
Yeah,
That's
or
worse.
mist.
Pouring rain.
I look exactly
I'm talking
like
or
this,
like
but
an Event Horizon where everyone's just
but
kind of
it's
gooey for
pouring
some
rain.
reason.
Yeah.
That's
That's what I'm going that way with the gooey mist.
The gooey mist.
I'm creepy all the way.
I think I'm like you're at the pool, like at a night swim, like you're at a hotel and it's like at night and you go to the pool to like unwind and there's like another person there, but they like won't look at you and they won't like talk to you, but they're like
peeing.
there and
They're peeing in the pool. They're peeing in the pool.
no, they're not
Are
in
you
the.
that person?
I'm not peeing in
Or
the pool.
Oh, it's you. Sorry. You're not peeing in the pool. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I went to the bathroom before I went to the pool, but I'm just like sitting there like ominously and like the lights are out and you're like, maybe I'm just gonna go back to my room.
And you're like, how did I even get in here? I feel like they should have locked the doors.
Yeah.
They were gonna turn the lights off in this pool.
I'm there on the creepy wet scale, I think.
So neither creepy nor wet.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? I feel like I'm more creepy than I am
So
wet.
like just like Joel then.
Yeah. Bone dry.
I feel like
On dry.
this just occurred to me, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I feel like I'm like at least 2 memes from the 2003 era. Like I got like peanut butter jelly time going,
Yeah.
and my spoon is
You're
too
right,
big.
you are.
And my spoon is too big simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
have
think,
like
Oh my
the
God.
hamster dance playing or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to
just saying
hold up Gnome with the lion cut and sing the Lions in Kenya song.
Oh yeah, I can do that too. Yeah. Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, this really would be. This would be 100% funnier in like 2000, like
Wrap
5.
some lettuce around your hands. Could be salad fingers.
Salad fingers. Yeah. Yeah, I could be.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen,
I've
it's
not
deep
thought
cuts.
about salad fingers in 15 years.
It's for the
Deep cuts. He's
best.
still selling plushies.
That's so long ago.
David's still selling plushies. It's a good shit. Okay, sorry, keep going. I need to leave soon, but I just wanted to let you know.
It's
this is
okay.
great.
Salad fingers.
We only
finished.
have 2 more questions, and then we could say goodbye, and everyone can see the
All right, let's go.
terrible
check out.
Halloween costumes I made for the monitor. So sorry, everyone, in advance.
I can't believe
No,
you
please.
apologized. I can't believe you deflected blame.
I thought you were gonna
No.
make a really funny bit, like to here and like hold a trash can up.
No,
or something,
no.
but-
I mean, if you've got beef, just yell at me on Twitter. I already apologized there. Okay, great.
Unbelievable.
So, the tacos want me to ask this question, and I'm so sorry in advance, but I'll keep it brief. You're in a bathtub, okay? You're taking a bath. Close your eyes and pay.
Oh, I thought this was about to turn into a Saw situation. again.
No, no. I mean, kind of.
I'm in a
And
bathtub.
You are.
Lawrence Gordon's there.
You're eating pizza, and you drop the pizza
No.
in
I'm
the
eating
bathtub.
pizza in the bathtub.
The answer's
What
no.
is happening?
I'm asking a
is there
question for
water?
the tacos to be a good community director and listen to
Am
what
I
the
in a-
community wants.
Am I in a bath or in a bathtub?
You're in a bath. The bath has been drawn in the bathtub.
I'm taking a bath.
You drop the pizza. You pick up the pizza really fast. Do you eat the pizza?
No.
Absolutely. This is not even a question. of
No.
course.
Why are you eating wet pizza?
100%. Next question.
It's not even about the dirtiness. It's about the fact that the pizza's wet. What is wrong with you?
On the wet to creepy scale, I'm wet pizza. Next
Like,
question.
I'm not like. You could
No.
maybe debate the like dirty
No.
scale, like oh, it's like dropping it on the floor, but it's like soaking like
Joel
Okay.
agrees with me.
Point
pizza soup
made.
is bad.
What kind of
Tacos.
pizza is it?
Supreme from Costco.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Oh.
and all the like supreme bits are better in the bath now.
All right.
Why are you eating pizza in the bath?
No, this is enough of a food crime. I've done my time. I've paid my debt. The last question also comes to us from Keeper Skates. Quick, make up a brand new Blaseball player name right now.
Bartholomew Hardcase.
Chimp's gumbo.
Orange shorts.
Gelatin fizzy water.
That's good.
Lavender pudding cup. Great.
Bit long.
All right, everybody.
That
Thanks.
works.
Thanks for tuning in to our Halloween Inside of Blaseball. It's been great. Tune into Short Circuits on November 1st. Games will start running. If you have any questions, you can find us on the Discord. Shoot us a mod mail. Check us out on Twitter. We are at Blaseball if you want to follow Blaseball specific content, and at the Game Band if you would like to follow more general sort of programming updates and anything that Parker didn't get the memo to tweet. Gabe has raised a hand.
I just want to let everyone know Joel is going to stick around after the stream and answer questions, answer lore questions specifically. So I think he's hanging out for like a few hours.
Yeah, we'll hand it over to Joel here when we head off.
Is there anything we can tease about Short Circuits, Gabe?
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that I'm
okay. So really quick, I just want to point out, all you know, a lot of you are going to realize something on November 1st, and it has to do with math, but like the good kind of math, not the bad kind of math. And I just want to say, I'm sorry and you're welcome.
Are you saying all gas, no brakes? Is that what you're saying?
All
yeah.
gas.
Gabe's talking
No.
about all gas, no brakes.
It's
Y'all,
deeply
it's
cursed
cursed.
math.
I'm excited for you all to experience this. Thank you for coming along this journey. I think, oh goodness.
I don't like it. When
Joel's
it happens.
Joel's getting
It's
ready to answer
scary when
lore
it
questions,
happens.
I guess. But the thing that I am most excited about for Short Circuits is actually